Hello guys, happy baby name Monday. If you're brand new or you've just found out you're expecting a baby, or like me, or just a huge baby name enthusiast, my name is SJ. I'm a mum of 3 and I make baby name lists here every single Monday on YouTube for inspiration for ideas to help you name babies. I'm in the best mood ever this morning because we've had so many birth announcements come in from you guys. Do keep sending them in. They're all over on the Instagram, which is baby name envy. Oh my gosh, I've made it a highlight because we're just getting daily news about babies coming in. I will pop a few of them at the end of the video actually, because it's just put the biggest smile on my face. So nice to know that this community, we're helping to really name babies, and that's lush. This week also I'm really excited, so I'm doing this name list is brilliant, and it is girl names. You're going to hear some totally unranked ones and some more well-known ones that are, I think, alternatives to our #1 girl name here in the UK and pretty much around the world, which is the name Olivia. We can't get enough of Olivia, but I get so many messages from everyone who's like, I love Olivia, but I can't use it. It's been pinched, it's my goddaughter's name, or, everyone knows an Olivia and has an association as well. So it's just a beautiful sounding name. It is strong but soft. It's got the beautiful meaning of kind of peace. But we can't have it sticking at the #1 spot. We've got to be a bit braver. So I've got some other O names and then some other names that just are similar to Olivia. So all the names we're going to hear today would really suit a modern little girl. It's got the beauty of the name Olivia. Some of them start with O, but some of them also just have O somewhere in the name, and I feel has the same kind of feeling or vibe, some of them as well. So yeah, let me know which of these is your favorite. I'm gonna move because for some reason I started this video crouched. Why would you do a video like that? So I'm gonna sit down. Okay, that's better. I don't think I can crouch. I've had 3 kids. I can't crouch for 10 minutes. Right, so I'm going to go through my names. I'm going to start with the names that begin with O, actually, and are probably the ones you've heard me say before around Olivia, and I would talk to you about if you were having a consultancy. So hot on the heels of Olivia, everyone bounces first to Ophelia. It's very similar, of course, similar sounding, but it's already at number 177, which is obviously very different from being the #1 name. And I feel like this outsider choice, it's a Shakespearean name, probably one of the most famous Shakespeare names, Ophelia, because it wasn't in use for so long, because she's a bit of a tragic heroine, isn't she, Ophelia? But it is just such a beautiful name. It is, as I said, really coming up, and it's Greek meaning help, which is similar to Olivia meaning peace. I personally prefer Olympia. I really like the name Olympia. I love the little P in the middle, and it's just a more quirky choice. So Olympia's only at number 1063, so then you are going really rare. But if you like Olivia, there's no reason you shouldn't like Olympia. I know the P is sometimes a harder sound for you, but I feel like it's just such a cool name. It's a bit more edgy, but why I love it is because it comes from Mount Olympus, so that Greek mythology. We love Frida, Freya, and all those Greek myth names, which I've done a whole list on, but I really like it. And Mount Olympus was the home of the gods, so Olympia I think is really cool. What would you think of it? So the next one, I can't believe how low down this name is, and it's the name Odette. Odette is a ballerina name. It was the name of the protagonist in Swan Lake, so she's the good swan in Swan Lake, Odette. So it's got those ballerina vibes. So I was really surprised to see that it is only at number 2040. So I think there was literally only just over 10 babies called Odette in the UK. It is a French name, so if you're French, is it more common over in France? It means wealth. Ottilie, of course, could also be on this list, which also means wealth. But Odette, I just couldn't believe it, but I wonder if it's because people think of it as debt, D-E-B-T, as in to be in debt or owing a debt. I think that might be sort of in our language, we would say, I owe you a debt of some money or something. So I think that's come up before in the comments, but to me, it's just such a gorgeous name. I do know an Odette, so I know a couple of Odettes, so I know all of them, and there's only about 13 born last year. They weren't all born last year. So going a little bit away from the O names, because I'm just going to bounce all over this list, is the name Honor. So Honor has the O second, Honor, but I think if you like Olivia, Honor, this is one of my sister's all-time crush names, and I think she should have gone with it. It's so lovely. It means, it's a virtue name. So the Puritans was a sort of religious group, very strict religious people who used to use these virtue names, modern virtue names. So we have hope, grace, faith, and those kind of endured, but we had more rare ones like Truman and things like that, and goodness. There's 3 babies called Goodness last year, so there's some beautiful ones out there, and they're kind of a little, you know, I like them because I love the name True, basically. But Honor I really like, and it feels very 70s to me, probably because of the Bond girl who's passed away. But yeah, this is my rare gem. I've done little titles this week, I'm really excited. My rare gem, only 11 babies called Honor, and it sounds like Elsa and Honor, but I obviously spelled this way, and I really like it. So another name you could go with instead of Olivia with the O second is the name Colette. So Colette, we talked about it, I think we talked about it on the podcast, maybe not here. So we also have a podcast called Baby Name Envy, which is like an open baby name clinic where we solve all your dilemmas, and I will put a dilemma at the end for us guys to go after. But it's French again, so a lot of these O sounds are French, and it means people of victory. So I feel for 2021, it's got that feminist vibe, Colette, and it's just really gorgeous and a little bit off the beaten path a bit more. A name right down the bottom at number 3,151, so hardly any babies. But I found it and I thought, do you know what? This is my one to watch. I'm going to give them all a title, but it's the name Monique. Monique. So for me, I started thinking it's a little bit almost like Margot in the French Margot, Monique, and it's kind of one that's kind of gone out of style. So Monica is my mother-in-law's name, actually, Monica, and we know it from Friends, and I think it will have this revival with the new generation who have got so into Friends again during lockdown, Monica. It means she who resolves or she who decides, so kind of perfect for Monica from Friends, but I kind of feel like Monique is really nice. I like Monet, like the painter Monet. I do, but I feel like it's a brave choice, whereas Monique is not such an out there choice because I feel like we've all heard it, Monique, but it's got that pretty ending. So the more you look at it on paper, the prettier it kind of gets. So how do you feel about the name Monique? Would you go with it, or do you think I've gone totally wild there? The other names that I've got on my list, I love the name Shiloh. Love, love, love it. And actually it's a true gender neutral name, so we love gender neutral names at the moment, and there were 38 girls named Shiloh last year and 41 boys, so it's literally bang in the middle. And it means peace or tranquil. I feel like it would really have suited my family. I love L names. I really like Shiloh. I just love how it looks written down as well, but I feel like it's really got its own special uniqueness, a bit like an Olivia, where there's something about it that you almost can't put your finger on. It's just the feeling that it gives you, that sort of specialness, and Shiloh has the same, but with Olivia meaning peace and Shiloh meaning tranquil, they do really suit. And Shiloh and Olivia could be great twins or sisters, but Shiloh, yeah, I really am into it, as you can tell, so just going to keep looking into your eyes and saying the name Shiloh until you go with it. It's a bit of ASMR there, but I just really got a little crush on it. I really, really like it. It's a biblical place. It's mentioned in Genesis as well, if that is of interest to you. Shiloh, yeah, gorgeous. And so far down the list, one that also I love, if you like Olivia, is the name Pandora. So this is kind of coming up. It's not all the way up yet, it's at 1,439, so it's actually nowhere near up. But I feel like with Ophelia, almost now, people are going, Ophelia is now too popular. So it's almost a bounce on from that is Pandora, because she was the mythological first woman on earth, and she opened up the Pandora's box, which set sins into the world. So we can't hold that against Pandora though, because we do kind of like these almost femme noir sort of names. Is that even a thing? Like Delilah, you know, she was the temptress, the biblical temptress, or Ophelia, you know, she was a very tragic heroine of in Hamlet. You know, she wasn't this sort of upbeat figure, she was a very dark figure in Shakespeare, but it doesn't put us off. We quite like them almost. So I feel like Pandora, but I really like it. I feel like it's getting more and more wearable, getting more out there. So my lovely friend Lorraine just had a baby Pandora. So congrats, Lorraine. Don't think she'll be watching this. She'll be snuggled up with her newborn. But what do you think of it? So apparently it's been used by the British gentry, so it was quite an upper class name, which is fascinating to me because I didn't see it like that, but apparently it was for girls. So the boy was called Peregrine, the girl would be Pandora. So it's a bit like, imagine if Oliver and Olivia became Peregrine and Pandora. Let's make it happen, guys. I've got a name here actually that we've made popular, I'm sure, here on this community. So it's a very interesting name. Bit more unique is the name Poet. So very rare. I don't feel like Olivia massively lends you towards Poet, but I feel like the O, if you love the O sound, these are a few more little short wild ones, and Poet, oh, it's just stunning, isn't it? So whimsical, so pretty like Olivia. It comes from the Greek word poet, to make, and obviously it's somebody who writes lyrics and lyrical prose, a poet. But I feel like, again, it's getting a little bit more wearable. Totally not ranked at the moment, which means under 3 babies are called poet. Doesn't mean there aren't any poets. But it's actually been in use in England as a title for over 600 years. That doesn't sound right, it sounds older than that. What is the word poet's been used in English for more than 600 years? According to Google, so it's 100% factually correct. But we are getting into those names, aren't we? Like, we're getting into the occupational names, like harper was somebody who used to play the harp and things like that. So why not poet, in a way? I think you don't have to be like this real celebrity now to use these more unique names. That's sort of old-fashioned now. We're all using much more unique names. So poet could be your one. Oh my gosh, this is one that me and my sister absolutely love, and it's the name Bronte. Olivia, alternative Bronte, I love. Those two stack up to me because something special about Olivia, but Bronte with the little thing on the end, I can never say that word, but I talked about this in the podcast with my sister and we loved it so much, but I don't think I've had it on a name list here for a long time. So it's obviously the surname of the sisters Charlotte, Emily and Anne Bronte, who are the literary names. It is, so that means we can all say it, and I think that's a real advantage to it. It's got that literary thing of names like Ophelia as well, but it's really lovely. And what was cool about it is it means thunder. So it's got that strength as well, which we want for our girls, so meaning thunder, which I like, you know, coming in like a roar of thunder. It's a strong name, but a romantic name. Could be a sister for Stormy, couldn't it? Can you imagine a Bronte Jenner coming up? So well, there's a Brody Jenner, isn't there, already? But Bronte, I really like. Maybe he could go with Bronte Brody. If he watches the channel, if he's having a baby, I know nothing. So it's totally, just ignore me. I'm in a very chatty mood today, sorry. What about the name Violette? Violette, perfect alternative to Olivia. Reining myself back in. It's really rising. So this is my rising star. It's at number 1439, and obviously Violet, as has been really popular, boomed right up into the top of our charts. So Violette is slightly different, but I don't think it sounds pretentious because it's the French, and I feel like I'm very used to hearing it. Do you think it will be determined on an accent? Because I think this is one that other accents can make sound very different. Violette, but the French, and I love it with the strong Ola. We have an Olivia. It means purple in the violet shade as well, Violette. You can have say Viola, but I love the V at the beginning. I think that makes it really pretty. Violette. Oh yeah, that's really nice. I can't have an O name list without shouting out our beautiful community member Oksana. So Oksana is French Canadian. She's here. She is always on our lives, and she's a brilliant baby namer and enthusiast, and one of our long-standing community members. You all know Oksana from the comments, and her name is absolutely gorgeous, Oksana. So why not go from Olivia to Oksana? And you'd have such a different type of unique name. So it's Russian Hebrew origin, but it means praise God. So very similar to Olivia, and having that peace symbol and that sort of religious symbol as well. Really, Oksana has very similar. What I liked about it is, if you're not brave enough to use October, because I know a lot of us like the name October, but if you have a baby outside of October, you're not brave enough to use it, Oksana's like one step back, and then it's one step forward from Olivia. So it's kind of in a really beautiful space. It's totally unranked here in the UK as well, which is so unusual. But Sanna, the end of it in Sweden's very popular. So my husband's Swedish, so I looked that up. I've always liked the name Sanna, and it means truth. in Swedish, Sanna, so she could be Oksana, she could be Kiki, she could be Sanna. Or what's your nickname, Oksana? Let us know, do you go by a nickname? But finally I've got your name on a list, you've been asking me for years. So Oksana is here and is absolutely gorgeous. And then our pick, so the one that is booming up the charts, is the name Opal. So I feel like this is a little guess. So do you remember we did a vintage name list, names that should be brought back from extinction, and Opal was the one that you guys voted for the most, because we did a whole vote and we announced our top names that should be coming back, and Opal was by far the favourite, and also Vera, we did it again. Never repeat a theme on this channel, do I? Opal and Vera we really liked, but Opal then, since we said that, because that was the first time we did it, it went up 538 places in 1 year alone. How crazy is that? So I feel like we have a little bit of credit for that, people who've watched that video. It was totally unranked 10 years ago, totally, which is so weird because it's such a beautiful gem name, and we've gone through the rubies, we've gone through all of those, and Opal just has this real intoxicating beauty of Olivia with the L, with the O. It's been used since the Victorian era as well, so it's got real vintage beauty to it, I believe. And it just means jewel, which is really nice. So it's a bit like pearl in that way, where it just is the name. Opal means jewel. So I just think it's so nice. I can just totally see it on a baby girl, feeling so modern. And yeah, still really down at the bottom, but it is up 538 places. I feel like I've missed something off. I also feel like I've been chatty. So yeah, I will give you some of our birth announcements quickly, and then a dilemma. Absolutely loads, and they are all over on our highlights tab on Baby Name Envy, the Instagram. But welcome to the world. I'm going to read them all out really quick because you'll love the names. So we have a Primrose Delilah that was born to Chloe and Cubs. Congratulations. Felix William, how nice is that? He's a baby brother for big sister Emmeline Phyllis. How gorgeous is that? So Emmeline Phyllis and Felix William, with both their middle names honouring their late grandparents. So a huge congratulations to you as well. We have Pippin Timothy. Timothy after the grandpa, so lots of you choosing grandparent spots in the middle, which is a very traditional way of naming. But Pippin, she got that from one of the baby name lists, can't remember which one it was in. Thank you, Ro, it is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, we've named little Pippin, absolutely, and also what a cutie. We've got an Oberon who has been born to Soph, so huge congratulations. She struggled to name their second child, spent the whole pregnancy avoiding picking a name. So they have Aurelia as their first baby, but really the baby was nameless for a little while, and then they finally settled on Oberon William. So they love it because he's actually become known, they thought they would call him Ron or Ronnie, but he's become known as Obi in the family. So how sweet is that? These names are amazing. Actually, I'll just do 4 of them, I'll do more next week. So Wild Francis, how beautiful. Welcome to the world. Wild was born in April. They went back and forth over the name, but as a long time watcher of these videos, thank you so much. This is from Fairy Elephant, which I don't think is her real name, but obviously I would list it. They loved it, kept it a secret till she was born in case anyone dissuaded them, which is a really good idea. Francis is after both of their mums, which is a cool coincidence, and then they've gone with Wild, which is one of my top names on my Wilderness baby name list last week. So huge congrats. I'm going to do a few of those every single week, but yeah, isn't it so exciting to see? Okay, so let's help out Natalie. Natalie has sent me an email. I will let her know that we're going to be doing this dilemma here on the video tonight, so do help her. So hi SJ, I'm obsessed with your baby name videos. Oh, thanks for everything for that. I just started listening to the podcast because she needs help naming a baby. Why else? She's currently pregnant with her third, so third babies are notoriously hard to name and they don't know the gender, so we need a boy and a girl name, please, in the comment section below. They have a daughter Ava, beautiful, and a son Asher. So she didn't mean to be matchy-matchy. So I love this one because it's a bit like me with Freddie and Finn. I had the 2 boys with the same, but she doesn't want to use that going forward. She does not want another A name. But she would like a name that sounds good with those 2 names, of course. So she's got Ava and Asher. So she loves classic, yet a bit modern with a twist type of names. Irish names, Scandinavian names, sometimes cutesy and not too popular. It's very important that it's easy to spell and pronounce and has a good meaning. So did you get that? So it's classic yet modern, Irish, Scandinavian, cutesy, not too popular, easy to spell and pronounce, and has a good meaning. You can tell when my sister was taking the piss out of me of how long I work on these dilemmas when I get them, but it's really quite hard. So let's help Natalie out. You help me out. Let's open the consultancy. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. It was the very last episode of series 1 of Baby Name Envy, the podcast, yesterday. I will link it in the comment section below. If you haven't yet listened to the podcast, please do go and have a listen over the next couple of weeks, because we are desperately hoping to get series 2 up and out there as well, because we've enjoyed doing it so much. If you have left me a dilemma, I will get to you. I will get to it. I have so many at the moment, which is we love. We're just so excited, especially now seeing all the announcements. It's a beautiful full circle and completion of what has been my little passion doing these videos. I feel now that the consultancy has really completed everything, and it's so lovely to have my sister as my partner. Anyway, waffle over. I hope you put this up early enough that you can listen to this, and let me know what video you would like next week. I think might be a sponsored one. Yeah. All right, guys, lots of love. Big squishes to any newborns out there. Don't forget podcast, dilemma, all of that good stuff, and yeah, bye.